All right, Dakota, you can kick it off now.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, people are enrolled in. I'm gonna give it just 1 second. All right, I guess we'll kick this off. We're actively past 2 o'clock, and we'll get this started. So for everyone here, I'll introduce myself. My name is Dakota Harris. I am a specialist on the network architecture team here at CEW, and my role is to be a subject matter expert for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise's Aruba networking. So I focus solely on the HPE portfolio. Today we have the opportunity to talk to everyone here about our unified SASE portfolio, and I want to say thank you to everybody who came to join us today. We're joined here by the HPE SASE team. You can see on the video here, Christian Eid. We'll head over to in a second just to say a quick hello, as well as our solution architect from that team, Omar. Might ask him to say hello, quick hello too, before we get to the content they're going to deliver for us today. You came here today to learn a little bit about SASE, so we hope that everyone here is maybe starting the journey down that conversation, maybe in it already. Just wanted to learn a little bit about how HP is approaching this, but it'd be remiss not to say and talk about what SASE is, and we may or may not know that SASE is an architecture, right? It is not a product that we're buying. It is a concept that was created in 2018 to understand taking technologies for comprehensive WAN technologies like SD-WAN and combining it with secure services for your edge to create a very secure zero trust access solution for your organization. So with that kind of laid out, the framework in place, Christian, I'm going to ask you to say hello to the crowd and we'll get moving.
Thanks, Dakota. Hey, everybody. Christian Eid here, SASE sales specialist here in Ontario. Part of a team of three teams here in Canada, depending on where you are. But if you're in Ontario, I'm your guy. And I'm excited to talk to you guys about SASE. Omar will be leading the discussion, but I'll be adding some commentary around customer use cases. So please speak up if you got any questions. We're hoping to make this interactive. Over to you, Omar.
All right. Thanks, Dakota, Kristen. Hi, everyone. I'm Omar Sifildin. I'm the SASE Solutions Architect, supporting all our partners and customers across Canada. And today we are going to talk about how can you enable your workspace transformation with unified SASE. And that's really a hot topic. So we are, as Dakota just said, today we are going to touch base on two different products. So it's going to be an overview. I'm not going to go deep dive. And later on, if you wanted to have more discussion on either of the two products, you can contact us and we can go deep with the product. We have a lot to cover, to be honest, within an hour today. So if you have any questions, you can come off the mute and then ask, or you can just drop your questions in the chat. And yeah, I'm gonna make sure to answer all of your questions. So let's get started. So that's gonna be our agenda for today. It's all around why, what, and which. So why do we need SASE? Okay, so that's going to be our first part, just to make sure that we are all on the same ground. Then I'm going to introduce the HPE Aruba Networking Unified SASE solution. Then we are going to talk about which products do we offer to deliver the unified SASE solution. So again, as Dakota mentioned, SASE is an architecture. It's not a product. And this architecture Very simple. It's SD-WAN plus SASE. So we're going to talk, I give you a quick overview on our latest HPE Aruba Networking SASE product, and then another quick overview on our Edge Connect SD-WAN. And I will end the our session today with some takeaways. Throughout the presentation, I will be going back and forth between my presentation and a demo, right? So everyone nowadays knows that our world is changing, and I believe it's clear to everyone that the workspaces are evolving. So the users are no longer limited to the space office. In fact, working from home and on the road is the new norm. So we are working from anywhere. Applications are everywhere. So all applications now are migrating to the cloud. Most of enterprises are in a hybrid mode. So they have some workloads still in their data center. Most of the other applications are moved to their infrastructure as a service. And we have also internet applications. The IoT devices are all around us, integrated into our daily lives. So with that, the hub and spoke legacy architecture is not efficient anymore. The hub and spoke architecture is affecting our users' experience, backhauling all the traffic to the data center to access an application in the internet or in the cloud is a bottleneck. So it's affecting user experience, affecting application performance, and the attack surface increased because now we are extending the network into our users' home office or in the on the road. Some enterprises trying to secure their applications in the cloud, like if they have workloads in AWS or Azure, so they are deploying a firewall as a service part of their infrastructure as a service. So with that, we didn't fully address the performance requirement or the security needs, and we are only added complexity to the network. So there are more nodes in the network, so more firewalls I need to manage, I need to monitor, I need to apply different policies. So again, the increasing the points throughout the network, and I still didn't address my performance and security. So that's why we need a new way, we need a modernized connectivity and security as a service. That's why in 2019, Gartner came up with the SASE architecture. And SASE, in short, as I said, it combines both the SD-WAN and SASE to deliver a unified network and security solution to help the customers, the enterprise, to transform their WAN and security without compromising the security, and at the same time deliver the highest quality of experience. So with the SD-WAN, you can apply dynamic path selection, WAN optimization, SaaS acceleration to be able to deliver the highest quality experience, and the security service edge or the SASE to deliver zero trust network access, CASB, SWG, firewall as a service, and we're going to talk about all these different terms. So just SD-WAN and security as a service. You can think about this SASE or the security service edge. It's a cloud delivered security. I have number of security services delivered from the cloud. So by integrating our Edge Connect SD-WAN product line with our SASE solution, we deliver the unified or the single vendor SASE architecture. Sure, it's moving. Sorry about that. So again, the combining our Edge Connect SD-WAN product line, focusing on modernized and secure your branch connections. So I'm doing SD-WAN, routing, WAN optimization, network, and application visibility, secure internet breakout, next generation firewall. All these different features comes out of the box from our SD-WAN solution. We combine that, so we integrate that with our HPE Aruba Networking SAC or Security Service Edge. Again, it's a cloud security as a service. We are focusing on securing connectivity for end users. I want to secure the user access to data and applications wherever they are. Yeah, so I will be able to deliver the highest quality of experience for the users, whether they are remote workers working from home or from the branch, to any application, whether it's in the data center, in the cloud, SaaS, or internet, without compromising the security. So two different products, all right? We have Edge Connect SD-WAN, we have HPE Aruba Networking SAC. Do I need both at the same time? No, as I said, the SASE is an architecture. So I can start the SASE journey from any point. I can start by transform my WAN architecture. I have multiple branches across Canada. I have outdated routers. I have firewalls, and I wanted to simplify the architecture, and I wanted to reduce my cost, and I wanted to be able to deliver highest user experience and better application performance. So I can start with the SD-WAN solution. Then I can start to move into a security as a service or security service edge solution. And I can start from the other, like the other way around. I can start by security services and then move into SD-WAN. Some customers, they will only need SAC solution because they are maybe startup, or it's only one branch, or their employees are all working from home, so they don't need an SD-WAN. So that's, again, giving you an idea how to think about the SASE solution, right? Can we integrate with other players in the market? Can SD-WAN, if another customer already invested on Zscaler, for example, can I integrate the SD-WAN, Aruba Edge Connect SD-WAN with Zscaler? Yes, you can. And can I integrate the HPE Aruba Networking SAC with other SD-WAN player? Yes, we can. Yes, you can. But again, Gartner is predicting that 60% of the new purchased SD-WAN enterprise, they will look to deploy a unified SASE solution. So that's why you can see nowadays in the market, each and every vendor is trying to collect or find the missing piece. If they are an SCC vendor, they are trying to get an SD-WAN solution, and the other way around. So I think we have a couple of questions in the chat. Dakota?
Yeah, Christian addressed it, but they were just asking if Edge Connect is available for public clouds. And the question was answered with yes, because we do have the virtual appliances that are available.
Yeah, and we are going to, if we have time, we're going to cover that. Again, if I'm talking really fast, just slow me down, but we have a lot to cover, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Doing great.
So let's move on. I'm going to start with the SAC solution, our Security Service Edge, or Aruba HPE Aruba Networking SAC, and that's the name of the product. So we choose to use the same, industrial name like Security Service Edge. Okay, so what is our Security Service Edge? As I said, it's a cloud native scale with Kubernetes and Docker. We deploy our POPs in Azure, AWS, GCP, and Oracle. So we have some POPs in Azure, other POPs in AWS, GCP. So we don't self-host our own POPs. Because we are a next generation cloud native solution. We can deploy our POPs in any hyperscaler, and we can deploy a new POP within just few hours. Within our POP, we can deploy a zero trust network access, or we can enable the zero trust network access feature. And the zero trust network access is to be able to provide a secure access to your private applications in the data center or cloud with or without an agent. So with an agent running on your laptop, or agentless or clientless. So with the ZTNA, you can think about ZTNA as your next generation VPN. So we are replacing your remote worker VPN connectivity with a zero trust network access. Then we can secure your end devices or your employees from the internet malicious online threats by enabling SWG, or Secure Web Gateway. So Secure Web Gateway, we can deliver URL content filtering, DNS control, SSL inspection, sandboxing, and so on. All these different security services comes under the Secure Web Gateway to secure your users from the internet. The CASB, or Cloud Access Security Broker, is the other way around. I wanted to secure my SaaS applications from the users. I want to be able to control the user's action when they access my Dropbox. I don't want them to delete any file or to download sensitive content from my SharePoint, and so on. So CASB, or Cloud Access Security Broker, is to be able to secure your SaaS applications and protect against the data loss. Firewall as a service, it's a new feature coming very soon now, and that's to be able to have a comprehensive network protection with scalable and adaptive security. What does it mean? It means that you can remove the hassle of configuring and managing individual firewalls on premise. So for example, if you have that doesn't have, again, to replace all your firewalls, but maybe you have a very small branch where you don't need to invest in hardware. Now you can use the firewall as a service in the cloud to be able to allow or block any source and destination IP port and protocols. Yeah. Also, with the firewall as a service, maybe instead of managing different firewall services from the cloud, I have maybe workload in Azure, I have other workloads in AWS, and I'm using their firewall as a service, which again, it will be very costly and adding operational overhead. I can replace that with the existing firewall as a service in the SCC. Yeah, so the users will communicate first to the SCC, find their path to AWS or Azure services. All right. Last but not least, digital experience monitoring, and that's your visibility and analytics. So I can monitor the user and application performance end to end, from the end device to the destination. Right. So these are the main security features that we can deliver from the cloud. Okay. Right now in Canada, just to give you a heads up, we have 2 POPs, one in Toronto and another one in Montreal. And these 2 POPs, again, one is deployed in Azure and the other one is deployed in AWS. And think about that. We deploying our POPs in different hyperscalers. That means that we deliver the very high availability and reliability. Yeah, because again, if I'm only relying on, for example, AWS cloud, you never know. Like, remember a few years back, Facebook went down for, I think, 24 hours because of one BGP command. So all their data centers around the world globally went down because one small configuration error. So if you are using only one hyperscaler, that actually can happen. But we are relying on AWS, Azure, GCP, and that gives us the highest availability, scalability, and the highest performance, because we are not self-hosting our POPs. We are actually relying on the high-speed multi-cloud underlay architecture. Yeah? I hope that's clear. And that's really one of our main advantages compared to others in the market. All right, so how it's actually all comes together. So you can see that we have different type of access, whether that's a contractor, an employee with an agent running, or users and devices, unmanaged users and devices from the branch going to internet, your data center, and SaaS application. So we'll start with the contractor. The contractor will request an access through a web portal, and then we'll verify their identity. Maybe I can use my built-in identity provider, or I can integrate with Okta, Azure AD, or now it's called Entra ID, Ping ID. So we can integrate with different identity provider, and then I can enforce a policy. We'll broker the connection at the cloud. So I have the connector. That's a a lightweight Linux-based application. You will deploy that in your data center, and the connector will open an outbound secure connection to your POP from one side and another outbound to your zone. The zone is your logical security zone. So maybe I have some IT applications, I have other HR applications, so I can have different zones within my data center. Think about that. It's segmentation. Yeah. So the connector, minimum 1 connector. We always recommend N+1 for the high availability and scaling. But again, minimum of 1 connector will open this outbound connection. So we will broker the connection at the cloud, and then the POP or the SASE platform will connect the user to the application based on the policy. With an agent running on my end device, we can now have more applications that we can support. We can do a device posture check. Maybe I wanted to make sure that there are some existing file. I wanted to check whether my Windows firewall is enabled. I have the antivirus is on. So I can have multiple device posture check with the agent running. And again, with the agent, we can secure the end device when they connect to the internet, and we can control the user's action when they use our SaaS applications. The unmanaged users and devices, we built an IPsec tunnel, and that's the SASE. Now that's the SD-WAN plus the SEC. So I built these IPsec tunnel from my SD-WAN device to the nearest SEC platform, and then we redirect the traffic from the branch to enable Zero Trust Network Access, SWG, and CASB. And of course, we continuously authorize the sessions in a real time. So if you wanted to disconnect a user, it's just with one click and the user will be disconnected. You don't need to wait until the user is logged out or anything. Any questions? Yeah, all right. So I can see there was a question about are POPs available in Central, East, and West, and I think I already answered that. Right now we have like 2 POPs in Canada, and by the way, we have a roadmap to expand our footprint. So every month or 2 we have at least 1 new POP deployed. Yeah. What are the ZTNA connector requirements, and would you need to install this on-prem? Yeah, you need to install the connector on-prem. The requirements, I can find them on the documentation. I can like check it now. It's first it has to be like a Linux distribution, like, you know, Rocky Linux, AWS Linux service. So any like Linux based server. I think minimum 4 CPU and 8 gig of RAM, if I'm not mistaken. But I will check that when we during the session. Okay. Is the ZTNA connector an appliance? No, it's not an appliance. It's just a lightweight application that you run on top of your Linux based server. So it's not an appliance. So actually, what do we sell when we talk about the ACC? We sell licenses. It's as a service. We just sell you a license, and that license, you can use it to enable a Zero Trust Network Access, a SWG, a CASB, digital experience monitoring, and so on. So that's what do we sell. We don't sell appliances. We don't sell a hardware or anything when we talk about ACC. Right? Okay. So let's continue. I'm gonna quickly show you like how it works, and then if you want, I will share with you a registration link that you can join our hands-on ACC workshop that will be 4th of Feb from 11 to 12:30 Eastern time, and you can actually do different use cases by yourself. So let's first quickly, I think we are good in time. Let's quickly, I will show you how things work. So I don't have the agent running on my laptop. So the first thing, if you are actually going to think about that, you have a contractor or you have a guest user and you want to provide an access to these users to different resources. So for example, you will share, as I said, a web portal, and that's again my web portal here. I'm going to use my username Omar, and I have my password, and then I will click next. Now the Omar user have different applications. I can have internal web application, ClearPass. So if I click, now I can access the ClearPass, and that's my home lab environment. Yeah, and as you can see, I'm already the connection has been broken. Now you can see on the top the URL is coming from my ACC platform. So we inspect all the traffic when it comes to the connectivity. I can have maybe a remote desktop. Not sure if it will work on my laptop, but let's give it a try here. Yeah. So now I can access a remote desktop. You can even narrow that down to an application within a remote desktop. So you don't have to provide a full remote desktop access, but maybe you want the users to only access Adobe, or you have, you know, some Oracle application in a remote desktop, so you don't need to provide the full access, but they can only access a certain application within that remote desktop. So that's without an agent. I was able to access a web application like ClearPass. I was able to access, you know, a remote desktop. Can I do other type of applications? Yes, you can. We have, if I go back to my management platform, the admin. Now, quickly, when you first join, that's your dashboard, gives you number of widgets with different statistics. Yeah, how many users? I have users connect. I have only one user now, which is my user. Okay, the percentage comparing to past days. When it comes to the number of devices or applications. So you can see there are different type of applications, and we are talking about the location, we are talking about the SaaS applications, we are talking about the accessing based on repetition and other statistics. I said you can have different type of identity providers. So we have now, that's the built-in identity provider, and we can integrate with any through an API integration. So we have Azure AD, Okta, Ping ID, Jump Cloud, and any type of SAML. You can integrate, maybe you have ClearPass and you wanted to integrate with your existing ClearPass, you can use SAML to do that. Yeah. I have internal users, so you can, for your guest users, you don't need to use your Azure AD. Maybe you can configure these users built in, and you can have, like, again, users group. And I have 3 different connectors. So I have a blue zone connector, I have a green zone connector, and a red zone connector. Each connector for different type of applications. If I just give you an idea about that, let me quickly. If you are not following, there's something that you need like more clarification, just come off the mute and ask. Yeah. And if you want me to move on and continue, because the next section will be the SD-WAN, just gives me a heads up. Okay, so you can see here I have my that's my home lab, and I have here like a data center with different applications. So that's again one connector installed in the data center. I have a new site, and with that site I have another connector, and I have at home a Linux-based laptop, and I installed the connector on that, and I connected that connector to my server, so I can access my home network from anywhere. Okay, so that's the third connector. So I have, that's the blue zone, that's the green zone, and I have the red zone, which is critical zone. That's for my connectivity to my home. So I have here the connectors, and then we have the destinations. Destinations is your applications. So you have the self-hosted applications. That's your private applications. You can think of that as your ZTNA catalog. You have your SaaS applications. That's your CASB catalog. You have the categories, all the web category or URL categories across the internet, and that's your SWG catalog. Yeah, and I have a tags, and that's just a label to be able to I'm sorry. The tag are a label that I'm labeling the applications so to simplify my policies. So for example, under the critical apps, I added the site to PC, PNet, home network. I add also different on the public apps, and that's just you know, for my home use. On the self-hosted, again, we said you can have different type of applications. We support a remote desktop or a pool, and that's the application within a remote desktop. We have SSH, Git, database, VNC. I can also do Active Directory. network range, if I want to be able to access a network, and a DNS application. So it's all, you know, different type of applications. Some of them are only agent-based applications, like the network range, Active Directory, and DNS, and others can be agent and agentless. So for example, I can add a new SSH. So that will be my SSH DC, and I just add it's 10.0.0. I think it's 150. It's on the port 22. That's an SSH, of course. That will be my green zone. So you define the zone where this application resigned on, yeah. And then next, I can use now, okay, I wanted to have a predefined. So I wanted the users, when they access directly. They don't need to add any username and password. You can use their own, if you have like, you know, integration with maybe Azure and other, and you can use the built-in. So for example, here I will use predefined. Yeah, and then I will click next. That's part of my IDP, and then I will add these to my public apps and submit. And then let me go back here and wait just, okay, I didn't commit, so I need to commit the changes. I will go to the policy just to make sure that Omar can access both public and critical. And if I go back to the portal, you can see now I have the new application available, and I can click here and I can go back and I connect, and can see that I have access to the SSH, and I can make maybe a new directory, Omar. I can maybe list that, okay, and I can see the Omar, and I can, you know, go back. I want to read maybe a file, so I have maybe some file, configuration file. I can see that, can click maybe history. So all that, I actually have a full visibility. So if I go back to my management portal and just to check the applications, you can see that on the SSH DC, we have one session, and that session is actually with Omar. That's first use for the application, and it's still ongoing, and I can see actually all the commands. So Omar started, the session has been started, we configure a new directory, we list the file, and then I access Omar directory, I get back, I check the file, I click history. So all that in real time, you can see it for the user. And at the same time, if for example, I wanted to, okay, I will disconnect the application now. Okay, I disabled the application. If I go back, you can see in a real time I will be disconnected. So now the application is not available anymore, and I don't have access to the SSH. All right, so that's a zero trust network access agentless. Without an agent, we were able to provide access to different type of applications, and at the same time, I have the full visibility on the users. Okay, think. All right. Do you want to maybe give you a quick demo on the SWG, or we continue with the SD-WAN? Because I think now we have like only 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think about 20 minutes left.
Yeah, continue with the presentation. Again, as I said, let's continue. You can just scan the barcode. That will redirect you to the registration page. The registration page, let me bring that here, and just register. Our workshop is on Tuesday, the Feb 4th, from 11 to 12:30. You will be able to deploy zero trust network access as well as a SWG feature. It's very informative, very detailed workshop. Will give you an idea on our SCC capabilities. We don't cover CASB in that workshop, but we do Zero Trust Network Access and SWG. I will also, let me go here, share, copy, and I will put the link that in the chat.
I also threw a snapshot of the QR code so people have the opportunity to scan it.
Exactly. So you can scan with your phone, or you can go now and join us with this workshop. Okay. Why HP Aruba SCC? As I said, first, we are focusing on unification. So we have only a single management UI to deploy a Zero Trust Network Access SWG, CASB, and DIM. And that actually different than what other products in the market offer. We also have only one policy, one policy engine to simplify your policy creation. So within one policy, we can actually configure ZTNA, SWG, and CASB. You can, of course, do policies only for a ZTNA, other policies for SWG, and some policies for CASB, but we give you the flexibility that you can actually simplify your policies with having only one policy to have all.
Yeah, and I'll just if I could just kind of jump in there, Omar, real quick. I'm gonna give a little customer stories here as you go through these differentiators. City of San Jose is one of our sort of crown jewel customers. We have got a great case study with them that I can send to everybody after this. But that was really, that focus on Unity was really appealing to them. Having a single pane of glass to make it easier for their kind of smaller IT team to manage SSE was really appealing. And you know, they were actually started on a competitor platform that was more of a first mover in the SSE space. To see our solution, which kind of was later in the game, but able to develop all parts of the solution on the same platform, was really appealing to them. And also, you know, just straight up reducing their costs, because some of the competitors out there can be very expensive on this front. So we were able to reduce our costs as well. But lots more interesting points in that case study, so I'll send it out after. Go ahead, Omar, on the second point.
Muted just in case.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No worries.
So I was saying, yeah, second point is inspecting all the traffic and supporting all different type of applications, including your legacy application. So we are the only vendor nowadays in the market that can deliver a Zero Trust Network access to your VoIP applications or your any server initiation flow application. So and that's something, if you wanted to evaluate between different vendors, you can ask other vendors in the market, how do you support my VoIP application? How do you support, for example, AS400 application? Can you do a Zero Trust Network access, or I still need to use my legacy VPN, maybe Cisco Connect or Pulse Secure or any other VPN? For us, we are a full VPN replacement. Go ahead, Christine.
Exactly, Omar. This is a great one, and this was especially interesting to P&G, which I'm sure is a household brand everybody's aware of. They had a kind of an interesting use case in that they were really losing hundreds of thousands of dollars on unreturned laptops. And that's really due to high attrition rates among their customer service workers. Essentially, they're shipping out laptops to new workers, and then you know, maybe they last a week or two or more, but then they never get the laptop back, unfortunately. So they were losing lots of money there. And you know, allowing VPN access to all of those BYOD devices really was a big security hole that they were, and risk that they weren't willing to take. So our solution with ZTNA really help them out because they're able to secure, like Omar said, their VoIP over that, and without having to open up any kind of firewall rules, right, inbound, which would really put their network at risk. So they're able to save a lot of money and improve security.
Great. Thanks, Christian. The third point, I think I already talked about, by deploying our solution as a next generation cloud native on all the different hyperscalers. That's one of our unique feature. And I said, as I said, like if I'm only using AWS or GCP, it happens. You can have a global outage. It's not something that it's done. Yeah, they are trying to minimize that by delivering maybe 5.9 availability and other, deploying different zones and regions and stuff like that. But at one point, it could happen, and it happened before. Yeah. Also, being a cloud native, I said that within just a few hours, I can deploy a new POP. So if we really have a potential customer with a requirement to have, their data in locally in the region, and we don't have POP, it actually can take us a few hours and we can deploy a new POP. Comparing to other vendors, our hardware-based POPs, they need few months to deploy a new POP. Yeah, so the time to market is we are just few hours comparing to few months from other vendors, and we can do that with or without an agent.
Yeah, that's a great point, Omar, and that's a good spot to bring up one of our customers, UKG, fairly sizable software company that operates basically on every continent. They got 13 offices: Montreal, Florida, Uruguay, Bulgaria, India, etc. So really operating all throughout the world, and that's where kind of our multi-cloud approach really shines, right? Being able to spin up those POPs, like Omar said, wherever UKG has offices, and quickly was really effective here. It's a stat that we like to talk about often, but they were able to deliver secure access to 16,000 employees in less than 2 weeks. So you can imagine there's not many organizations or platforms that can do that out there. So really a great one to look at. And then Omar, the last one there.
Yeah, that we can do that with or without an agent, and we saw how powerful our agentless access is. You have only a single portal that can provide access to SSH or remote desktop or web application, database, VNC. So you can do that without an agent, and it's all secure to our POP through TLS tunnel.
Yeah, and that's a really great one to talk about. A maritime provincial health ministry that joined the platform maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago. They were really looking for a way to provide secure access to their health professionals, and I'm sure many of you are aware or know that most health professionals are often independent contractors, right? They're not employees of the province. And as such, they're not likely to want to install a government application like a VPN or a SSE client on their personal BYOD devices, right? So with agentless access, we're able to provide secure access, or help the ministry provide secure access to thousands of health professionals, so they can access their internal applications and health databases very securely, without, again, any kind of install on their BYOD devices. So that was a fantastic one for us as well. Thanks, Omar.
Great, thanks, Kristen. Yeah, I know I talked a lot, and we spend a lot of time on the SSC. We still have a lot with the SD-WAN. I will just move quickly, but again, keep in mind that we just touched base on the SSC, and we are going to do the same with the SD-WAN, and we didn't do any demo. So you can reach out to Kristen aid, you can reach out to Brandon or Dakota if you wanted to have like more deep discussion, and at the same time you can join our SAC workshop. So I will just move really quickly. The SD-WAN, as I said, it's a separate product. We have a separate management or single pane of glass to manage your WAN infrastructure, and that's the Aruba Orchestrator. We can again have like a physical appliance, a virtual appliance, or a cloud native appliance on AWS, Azure, and GCP. You can enable a WAN optimization license and a dynamic threat defense to enable the IDS IPS feature. These are all the different 8 fixed form factor appliances that we support or we offer. We start with the Edge Connect 10104, and we have the Edge Connect up to the X large. So you can see that we have like 2 different naming convention. So the t-shirt size, that was the legacy naming convention before acquired by Aruba. And then we have like the 10104, 10106, 10108. These are our latest appliances after we joined HPE Aruba, because you know we came from a Silver Peak acquisition. Yeah. Again, different bandwidths from 2 megabit per second up to 10 gig. New appliances are coming to support 20 gig and 40 gig as well. Yeah. Some of these appliances has a built-in PUE, 2 PUE port. PUE, of course, I'm talking about PUE++ up to 90 watt per port. Up to 60 watt, I'm sorry, not 90, up to 60 watt per port. This is the SD-WAN architecture. So you have different overlay paths. You can have local internet brick out to your trusted app, or you can redirect the traffic to the SEC before going to the internet, or you can have a branch-to-branch communication between the Edge Connect. The Edge Connect is not just an SD-WAN appliance, so we are simplifying or transforming your branch by integrating or consolidating different network and security features in a single platform. So our Edge Connect can do, of course, like SD-WAN, WAN optimization, next generation firewall, of course, dynamic routing protocol, OSPF, BGP, and have a network and application visibility. And we do that with a true zero-touch provisioning. So you don't need to have to send a technician to enable and configure the Edge Connect. You can just chip it, connect it to the internet, and it will be connected to your WAN infrastructure. We have different features to be able to deliver the highest quality of experience. We build these, we do like a tunnel bonding and build these lossless overlay network for the end-to-end between the branches. These are the different security features that we can have, like stateful firewall, deep packet inspection, IDS, IPS, DDoS protection, attack detection and mitigation. So these all different features comes out of the box. The only thing, the IDS IPS needs a license to enable that. Other than that, all are free. And we are certified from the ICSA labs. That just give you the connection between the integration or how to build a SASE architecture, and we've already like covered that. So we build the IPsec tunnel from your SD-WAN appliance to the SAC, and then you can redirect the unmanaged users and devices traffic through the IPsec tunnel, and then you can apply different type of policies. And we configure this IPsec tunnel from the orchestrator. So you don't need to go to each and every branch to configure the IPsec tunnel phase 1 and 2. You don't need to go between 2 different management platforms to match the IPsec tunnel parameters at both ends. Everything is done from the orchestrator, and then the orchestrator will push all these configuration to all your branches. And at the same time, through the API integration, the information will be sent to your ACC. So the IPsec tunnel is built automatically with just few clicks. Right? And yeah, maybe in another call I can show you a quick demo, because I know we have only like 5 minutes left. Just quick summary. Again, the SD-WAN or the SASE is a journey. You can start the journey by modernize your branch network, transforming your WAN architecture. Then maybe you can add a SWG on top of that to secure your unmanaged users and devices on the branch. You can add CASB, and then you can add Zero Trust Network Access, or you can start from Zero Trust Network Access. It depends on your use case. It depends on your pain points or requirements, and you can just start from anywhere. Yeah. Last, we offer a free training and certification for both our SD-WAN and our SEC. So we have a deploying security service edge training that can be e-learning. You can do it at your own pace, or you can join one of our instructor-led training, free of charge. After you've done the training, you can do the assessment. It's open book, and then you can receive your product specialist badge. Same thing we do with the SD-WAN. We do have a professional, we do have an expert track. I will add the link in the chat just to give you what do you expect. Yeah. So that's, again, the first one is the SEC training. We are working on offering an advanced training that's coming really soon. But right now we do have the deploying SEC, and the deploying SEC, if you click on deploying, you can find all the schedule for this year. The upcoming one in US is next month, the 3rd and 4th. That's 2-day instructor-led training. Again, if you want to do it at your own pace, we have the e-learning. SD-WAN, you can use the SD-WAN professional or expert, same thing, e-learning or instructor-led, all free of charge. Okay, so let me put this in the chat. And again, if you have any questions, or if you have any, you wanted to go deep, I know that I just skipped the SD-WAN, like I didn't cover it because of the time, but at the same time, we didn't even do a lot with the SEC, just an overview. Now you have an idea. We can offer a unified single vendor SASE architecture. We have 2 different product line or solutions, the EdgeConnect SD-WAN and the Aruba HPE Aruba Networking SEC. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. Any questions?
I believe the ones in the chat were answered, but if there are other questions, please feel free to reach out. You can always contact myself at CDW. You can reach out to your account managers. If you're working with them, they'll get us in contact, and we'll work with Omar or the other HPE SASE team to address any questions you have. You know, they're always happy to get on a call and discuss. They're open to proof of concepts and going through and demos and everything. So if there are questions, please ask them. We're here to support that. But with that being said, 1 minute left here to be cognizant of everyone's time. I just want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you, Omar, for that. That presentation is amazing. I always enjoy watching you present that information, because it always leaves me with new questions and more things to learn. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. And yeah. Enjoy.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much. It was a
everyone.
great presentation.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, London.
Have a
Cheers.
great rest of your day.